What if I told you that the future of global power doesn't rest with traditional Western superpowers, but with a rapidly evolving block of emerging economies? Well, hopefully a lot of you would believe me, but a shift is underway, and the countries of the global south are asserting their influence, challenging the dominance of the United States and its allies. From the rise of BRICS to groundbreaking trade alliances and resource control, the global south is becoming the epicenter of new geopolitical and economic realities. In today's video, we'll explore the opportunities they present and what this shift means for global power dynamics. Let's start with the basics. What exactly is the global south? Traditionally, this term refers to countries in Latin America, Africa, Southeast Asia, and parts of the Middle East. These nations are often characterized as emerging markets or developing economies and have historically been overshadowed by Western powers in global decision-making. However, the global south isn't just a geographic term. It represents a political and economic bloc of countries that are now stepping into the spotlight. What unites them is a shared history of colonialism and underrepresentation in institutions like the IMF and World Bank. But today, they're leveraging their abundant natural resources, youthful populations, and strategic geographic locations to reshape global power dynamics. For decades, the United States and its Western allies shaped global systems, be it trade, finance, or security. But this unipolar dominance is eroding. It's becoming more evident as the years tick on that the US's influence is waning due to overextension, fiscal management, and a decline in soft power. Meanwhile, countries like China, India, Brazil, Argentina, and Indonesia are stepping up to fill the void. We're entering a multipolar world where power is distributed across multiple regions, and the global south is no longer a passive recipient of Western policies. These countries are emerging as active participants, forging alliances and setting agendas that reflect their priorities, not those dictated by the West. A central driver of this shift is BRICS, a coalition of emerging powers that's rewriting the rules of global engagement. BRICS, Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa, is more than just a loose grouping. It's a platform for challenging Western dominance. BRICS nations are taking concrete steps to reduce reliance on Western institutions and financial systems. By creating their own development banks and conducting trade in local currencies, they're charting a path toward greater economic independence. These countries are also consolidating control over critical natural resources like oil, gas, and rare earth metals. This resource dominance is shifting economic leverage away from traditional powers that depend on these materials. At the same time, programs like China's Belt and Road Initiative are transforming global trade. Through infrastructure investments in Africa, Southeast Asia, and Latin America, China is creating trade routes that bypass Western-dominated networks, often delivering results faster and with fewer conditions. But this isn't just about economics. The global south is also the stage for a new geopolitical tug-of-war. This video is produced by the team at Capitalist Exploits. Headed by professional asset managers Chris McIntosh and Brad McFadden, the team hunts for deep value assets that are surprisingly contrarian despite strong fundamental cases for potential future appreciation. If you're looking to gain access and insight as to the personal investments of active hedge fund managers and in-depth reasoning as to why they've invested in the assets they're sharing, check the links in the description below. You'll get access to advice on how to allocate, organize, and think about your portfolio, while joining a growing community of people thinking outside of the box. Enjoy monthly updates, open Q&As, regular newsletters, a community forum, organized portfolios, investing education videos, and more with the Capitalist Exploits Insider subscription. If you're not ready to fully take the leap, we also offer the Capitalist Exploits Insider newsletter series for $1 for the first 30 days and $35 a month thereafter. Do note, our investing strategy and philosophy can deviate a lot from the mainstream. We offer a money-back guarantee regardless, but make sure you're on board with our investing philosophy and global outlook before deciding to join us. The global south has become the focus of a geopolitical contest between Western powers and BRICS nations. Both sides are vying for influence in regions like Africa, Southeast Asia, and Latin America. The stakes are high because these regions hold the keys to the future. Vast reserves of vital resources, burgeoning populations, and strategic geographic positions. While the West often ties aid and investment to stringent conditions, BRICS countries have adopted a different approach, offering funding with fewer strings attached. This has made them attractive partners for nations seeking to maintain sovereignty while modernizing their economies. Energy is another critical dimension of this competition. Countries like Venezuela, Nigeria, and Iran are pivotal players in the global energy landscape, aligning with BRICS powers to resist Western sanctions and establish alternative trade routes. One of the most significant shifts in the global south is the move to de-dollarization. Many countries are actively reducing their reliance on the US dollar for trade and finance. BRICS nations, for instance, are conducting more transactions in their local currencies, insulating themselves from the volatility and sanctions associated with dollar dominance. At the same time, new trade corridors are emerging. Infrastructure projects funded by BRICS banks are bypassing traditional Western-dominated networks, strengthening the role of the global south in the world economy. These developments are especially significant in energy and agriculture, where BRICS-aligned nations are becoming key suppliers to the world. For investors, this realignment opens up significant opportunities in infrastructure, energy, and technology. But it also requires a strategic approach, as the shift from Western systems to BRICS-led frameworks introduces new complexities. While the opportunities are vast, it is important to acknowledge the challenges that the global south faces as it rises to prominence. The potential is undeniable, but it also comes with hurdles. Corruption, weak institutions, and political instability remain common in many of these countries, which can undermine their ability to attract sustainable investment. Additionally, the fierce competition between Western powers and BRICS nations can lead to geopolitical tensions or conflicts, particularly in resource-rich regions like Africa and the Middle East. However, these challenges also create opportunities for resilient investors who are willing to navigate these complexities. By focusing on regions with improving governance and strategic importance, shrewd investors can position themselves to capitalize on the global south's growth while mitigating risks. Despite the challenges, the rise of the global south represents a historic realignment and a frontier of opportunities for those paying attention. The rise of the global south is signaling the end of a US-dominated unipolar world. Instead, we're seeing the emergence of a multipolar global system where BRICS nations and their allies are rewriting the rules of engagement. For investors, this transformation represents a unique opportunity to gain exposure to sectors like energy, agriculture, and infrastructure in regions that are poised for significant growth. The global south's growing influence isn't just about shifting geopolitics. It's about reshaping global markets in ways that reward those who recognize the trend early. The world is changing, and the global south is taking center stage. Understanding these dynamics isn't just smart, it's essential for anyone looking to thrive in this new era. If you want to learn more about investment opportunities in the global south and how to position yourself in this evolving landscape, check out the links below. Join the conversation, stay informed, and remember, opportunities often lie where the world isn't looking. The research used in this video is also available in the description below.